Hello, howdy, hi everybody. Welcome to the Hop Nerd Live. I hope you are doing absolutely awesome out there. I am doing pretty excellent. I've got nothing really to complain about. I'm kind of joking with you here a little bit as we kind of kick this thing off, but I'm doing absolutely excellent here in the sunny and the beautiful Phoenix, Arizona. I hope you're doing good out there wherever you are. We're doing pretty good here. Like I said, things are going pretty good. Before we get started, make sure you head over to www.thehopnerd.com. Follow along on all things social media at The Hop Nerd, except for Twitter because it is super duper special. It is The Hop Nerd 1 for whatever reason, right? Twitter. Send me an email, sam@thehopnerd.com or thehopnerd@gmail.com. All those are handy dandy, super easy, excellent fun ways to get a hold of me. How are things going in your neck of the woods? I would love to hear from you. Shoot me a text, 480-877-0155. Give me a call, 480-712-5219, and we will have that conversation. I was going to say that I'm watching the comments. I'm trying. I promise I'm trying. About when we got to that little countdown and it was like 45 seconds, this prehistoric MacBook that I use for my notes took a crap, right? It just quit. So I'm trying to get it back up, and it gives me like this little note that's like, oh, your computer crashed because it experienced a problem. I'm like, no, yeah, right. No problem at all. But so I'm fighting with this thing. So I'm trying to get up to your comments right now. As I get to them, I will start talking about them. So in the meantime, if you want to send me a text, you can. I'm kind of bouncing in between. I'm trying to watch your comments live here via my cell phone. So if I don't get your text immediately, that's kind of sort of why, right? I'm trying to bounce between two things, and that's not my norm here. So if I'm a little distracted, if I'm a little kind of like tinkering on this computer trying to get things going, that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm trying to get things going. But I hope things are going well in your neck of the woods. Look at this handy dandy stuff here. Margarita, Island Margarita scented hand sanitizer. I don't think it gets much more high-end boutique hand sanitizer than that right now, huh? I mean, especially with all the shortages. Fortunately, I am kind of a whatchamacallit? Is it Bed Bath & Beyond? Is that what it is? Something like that? Bath & Body Works. Oh, where's my mind at today? It's been all over the place this week. Bath & Body Works kind of freak, so I go and I buy a bunch of this crap, so it's all over the place. But I'm trying to keep an eye out for your comments, even if the computer's not working, even if everything's giving me that super colorful, spinny wheel of doom that I get on this horrible, horrible MacBook Pro. I'm glad that you're here with me. I'm glad that you're going to let me be your guide to the apocalypse. I'm glad that you continue to join me every single day as we get through this thing and as we have these conversations. These conversations, I believe, again, when it comes to the podcast, you hear me say it a bunch. I believe through these conversations, that's truly how we make the world a better place to work. I believe in the times that we're in right now, these conversations will help bring us together. And that's big. That's huge with everything that's going on right now. I don't have to tell you. I know for me, I feel like I'm torn apart from everything, from everyone, right? You don't realize how much you depend on those relationships day to day, even those work people, right? I mean, you kind of take it for granted, right? I know I do. I think we all do. We all take that stuff for granted. We're kind of sitting there at work and we're doing our normal stuff and we're just, yeah, that's Bob. Yeah, everybody knows Bob. Yeah, everybody knows Susan, blah, blah, blah. You don't miss Bob and Susan until you're locked in your house. And now I miss the coffee pot chatter and the water cooler talk and all that kind of stuff. I definitely miss it right now. I would like to hear how things are going in your neck of the woods. Once again, give me a call, 480-712-5219. We're trying to debug this thing, trying to figure out how to make these phone calls work. And I think we've got it almost figured out. So fingers crossed when you call. We'll see how it works out, and we'll play it by ear. I'm about ready to throw this lovely computer across the room. So if you see that go across the room and through this brick wall, that's a MacBook. Nothing too crazy. It's just the MacBook that's not working for me still. It's been trying to boot up for the past 10 minutes. It's got to the desktop, and that's as far as it's gotten at this point. So I think everyone can relate with computer problems. Unfortunately, this is not the machine that we depend upon to run everything. This is just fancy notes. That's pretty much what this is. This is a fancy monitor for me to where I can cruise over. So what I'm trying to do right now is cruise over. See, it won't even let me type. So, man, this is fun. This is a blast of a computer. Gee, thanks, Apple. You're great. Trying to cruise over to the website, try to cruise over to Facebook, try to cruise over to YouTube to try to zoom in on some of your comments and take a look at that stuff. Let's see if it'll do it. We'll let that go for a while we continue our conversation. Again, if you try to text me, I don't know if I'll see it right now. You can call. That goes to a separate line. I'm trying to monitor your comments here in the feed, at least on Facebook. I'm trying to bounce back and forth between several different things. I hope you're doing well out there. Let me know how you're doing. I'd love to hear from you. Shoot me a text 480-877-0155. I would love to hear from you in text. You can also give me a call. Here's that handy-dandy call-in number, 480-712-5219. I hope you're doing well. Hope things are going great in your neck of the woods. I can tell you here in Phoenix, things are pretty much the same. Things are going about the same. Things have been, I guess, normal-ish. From what we've seen, at least, things haven't really changed very much. I'll cover some news articles, some stuff like that as my MacBook opens, if it opens. This thing is terrible, y'all. I don't know what to do with it. I'm going to have to, it's pretty bad when you throw the MacBook in the trash and go opt for the $100 Chromebook, the $100 Chromebook because it works better. But I hope things are going well for you out there. It's this one. This one it needs to go in the trash. I hope things are going good for you. Just got a text. I'm sitting here in the dark at work. Power has been out for 2 hours now. It shows a pretty awesome photo here. Look at that. It looks like a transformer failure. Oh, wrong camera. Let me see. Again, one-man show. I'm doing stuff with my feet. I'm doing stuff with my hands. I'm doing stuff with everything. Look at that. That looks fun, doesn't it? That looks fun. It looks nice and green back that way. Every time I see grass, I'm in the desert. So every time I get the chance to see grass, I kind of go, ooh, and ah, and kind of all that stuff. We don't normally get to see that much grass here. At least not real grass, right? We get this fake AstroTurf and watered junk here in the desert. So I'm going kind of double here. I've got the Monster. Everybody knows that I've been on this Monster Ultra Fiesta kick. So if you haven't tried this, it's phenomenal. But I've always got the trusty old hanging right here, not too far away. But again, make sure you head over to the website, www.thehopnerd.com. Love for you to tune in there, check out everything we got going. Please head over to the YouTube channel. I stream these things live to YouTube. If I could pull up my feed right now, I would look and see how many people is looking, and I would look at your comments. But I mean, this whole time we've been talking, still this colorful wheel of doom just continuing on and on and on and on. So I guess most of what I'm going to do is from here, right? So if I missed your text, I apologize. I didn't want to delay the show. I didn't want to delay the stream because I would still be delaying it right now, waiting on this hunk of crap to actually be having this conversation with you. And I'd rather just get up here and ramble and maybe miss some comments. Worst case, miss some comments, right? So maybe I can pull up some of I actually put together like a couple notes if I can find them. I just don't know where everything went to. As I was looking at the news, and I wanted to share some of the news as we were kind of going through this thing. So if I miss your comment right off the bat, it's because I'm bouncing between like 6 different things on my phone instead of having it all pulled up on my computer. Everybody send Apple some awful hate mail because they're terrible. At least whatever this MacBook Pro is awful. I switched back to Windows not too long ago, and thank God because everything's running pretty smoothly, at least from the stream. From the news, I was looking today, U.S. jobless claims soared to a record 3.3 million as layoffs jumps. Nearly 3.3 million Americans applied for unemployment benefits last week, more than quadruple the previous record set in 1982 amid a widespread economic shutdown caused by the coronavirus. Well, yeah, we know that, right? We know that that's what's causing it. I think that's wild. My mom actually works in unemployment. She works for a state in their unemployment office, and that's what I talked to her the other day, checking on her, making sure everything was going good with her, and that's what it sounds like for them. They're all working tons of overtime to try to help with this stuff, because there's lots of folks that are getting laid off, furloughed, not getting paid, right? I mean, just tons and tons and tons of wild stuff happening out there right now, as it comes to unemployment. While the U.S. death toll from coronavirus has now topped 1,000, exhausted hospital workers are turning to increasingly desperate measures to combat the virus. New York's Bellevue Hospital created a makeshift morgue using tents and refrigerated trucks at Elmhurst Hospital Center in Queens. 13 patients died from the coronavirus within 24 hours. We talked about this a little bit last night on the live stream, when I had my boo thing on here, and when I had my guy on here hanging out. He's a nurse, and we were talking about this. That's a morbid piece of it that we don't really think about that much. With that many folks dying, you have to think about what you're going to do with them, right? So I know my mind had not gone there yet, at least until I had read this, at least a snippet of this article last night. I didn't realize it was mentioning the same article. If more beds don't become available, then we don't have the resources to save the lives that we need to save. Former Louisiana Secretary of Health, Dr. Rebecca Gee, said. That's why these stay-at-home orders are so important. So basically, this article is going on to say that if you're one of these jackwagons out here that are basically going, I don't know, COVID-19, I'll do what I want. That's probably not a good thing, right? That's probably a terrible thing, and you're going to be burdening the hospital system way more than what you should. That's probably a really, really bad idea to go and just have a gigantic party and do all that kind of normal fun stuff. Just stay home, right? You're endangering people. The U.S. has more than 74,000 cases of novel coronavirus. At least 1,046 people have died. Again, I don't know what the date on this is. I didn't copy the date over, so those might be higher than that. The highest number of deaths reported in any single day came Wednesday with 223 deaths, but we have not seen the peak of the crisis yet. Again, still working on getting the comments pulled up here. I hope things are going good for you. How are things in your neck of the woods? I'm swiping back and forth to take a look and see if I can get to your comments. My computer, if I could show you, I don't know. I'm afraid to pick it up and move it around because it might just explode. But it's been white screen for like the whole time we've been talking, and then now it's finally starting to load something up. So that's interesting because all the comments. So okay, I'm getting some stuff. I'm getting some stuff coming up. It's trying. I think if we need like a handle on a crank start, I think we crank it enough. So okay, I've got one feed kind of up. Hold on. Now I've got okay, now I've got to mute it. Now I've got sound coming through. My mute did not stay muted. So my bad for everybody out there, this high production value show. Okay, I think we're muted now. Hopefully we're good. So I see your comments, Eli, trash it and buy Windows. So I did. I haven't seen your comments until now. I did. So for the main computer that I kind of run everything through, you don't see it's kind of over there. We wanted this kind of at least mostly computer-free set, right? This is, again, mostly used for my notes, which I'm kind of reading off my phone right now instead of my computer. It's pretty worthless for that, too. I guess I'm going to have to trash this one and buy Windows, too. Eli, I see some 7.62 ammo in the clip on the table. So I was going to wait and see how long it took people to catch that. That's part of my apocalypse joke that's kind of going on right now. So Eli found it first. I guess Eli wins a prize. it took. I guess I just wanted to see how long it would actually take for people to notice that it was there. Trying to get over to your comments. It's starting to look. There's some daylight on the other side of this tunnel. We're starting to get some stuff fired up on this horrible MacBook, and things are finally starting to work. It looks like I'm starting to get some comments through. So, yep, definitely prepared, Eli. That's all I can say. I'm definitely prepared. Hilton employees brace for more furloughs. Hilton employees are bracing for the possibility of additional furloughs. Two people familiar with the company plan said, well, yeah, duh. I mean, I think we're seeing tons of employers furloughing folks right now. And I would assume that especially in leisure and travel, I mean, nobody's moving right now. There's not a lot of people just bouncing around all over the country. What are you seeing as far as vacation prices right now? I'd be interested to see how that goes. Look, I've got a little visitor sneaking in here with me. What are you seeing as far as vacation prices right now? I think it'd be very interesting to see what kind of deals you can get right now. I bet they're low. I bet if you want to buy a cruise right now, it's probably pretty low, isn't it? I would assume so, at least. So let me know. What are you seeing out there? Are you planning on going on vacation after this thing kind of blows over? Or we hope it blows over, I guess. I was thinking about it, honestly. I was browsing around, and I'm like, yeah, I don't know. I think I might have to start making payments on a cruise. I might have to start making payments on a cruise and see if I can go. Everybody say hi to Avery. She's the one that shakes the table and messes with the cameras. So if you get earthquake camera, it's not me, I promise. It's this little one. Well, how are things going for you guys with working from home? It's super interesting when you have a 5-year-old crawling all over your feet when you're trying to live stream. But we're making it work. We're making it work. So I think this is probably the new normal for everybody right now with everything that's going on. I think most folks are probably getting used to, or at least starting to settle in with the idea of working from home for a while. I know I am, right? Avery's been here with us every single day. She's not quite learned that she shouldn't bang on the microphones or smack the cameras or do stuff like that. Yeah, we always have the talk afterwards that she's not supposed to do that, and then she quickly ignores that as soon as we start the stream. But that's the benefits of being 5, I guess. If you could see the amazing setup that we've got for Avery over here right now. Now she's trying to unhook stuff. If you can see the amazing setup we've got for Avery over here right now, we basically built just today while we've been here, like TV and Nintendo Switch and everything on headphones and toys and all kinds of games and everything else. And she just not cool enough. That lasted all of about how long have we been going? I can't see my timer here. So that lasted about 15 minutes. And that's completely bored. So that puts us to where we're at now. Again, I'm always interested to hear how things are going for you out there. I told you I'm doing these things daily, just until I feel like not doing it daily, I think. At least for right now, with the times that we're in, I just feel like it's needed to have an opportunity to come together for a little while, for a long time, whatever that might be, to just hang out, talk, do all that kind of stuff. Have a conversation. I think that's just fun. That's just fun stuff right now. Eli Halbert, book now while it's cheap for the end of the year. That's kind of what I'm looking at. Am I crazy? I mean, I think that's I kind of throw that out there to folks that I'm like, okay, I'm gonna buy a cruise, and they're like, a what? You're gonna buy a what? Right? I'm like, a cruise? I'm like, but cruises, they're breeding grounds for coronavirus. And I'm like, I'll give it a little while, right? I think I'm going to do it. I think I'm going to do it. So I'm trying to decide if I should book one or not. Let me know what your thoughts are. Are you going to book a cruise? Are you going to travel out of the country? Before all this stuff happened, we were actually looking at trying to travel to Thailand. We were planning on doing that at some point. So I think we'll do that at some point in the future once everything kind of opens back up. So if you have any travel advice for me, I guess apocalyptic travel advice, that'd be interesting too. Let me know how that's going. So Avery's graduated from watching everything, being nice and hanging out over there, to unplugging my headphones a couple times, to now she's drawing on me with an ink pen. So we'll see how the rest of this thing actually goes. It's been a wild live stream today. That's all I can say. Hopefully it's at least entertaining for you. It's somewhat distracting for me, but I think I'm hoping it's at least a little entertaining for you. Let's dive back into to some of the news and see how everything's going with that. Are you okay? Let's see how everything's going over here with the news. Coronavirus death toll in France climbs to more than 324 hours. At least 1,696 people in France have died after contracting coronavirus, France's Director General of Health said on Thursday. The new total, which makes the increase of 365 to 24 hours, went against expectations, they said, speaking during a news briefing in Paris. Said at least 29,155 people have tested positive for the virus. 3,375 patients are currently being treated in intensive care. Of these cases, 34% are under the age of 60, he added. So that's pretty interesting to see that many folks under the age of 60 with all of this happening. We've kind of been told for a very long time that this was an old person's ailment, and clearly it's not, right? I think that it goes well beyond that. 17 detainees test positive for coronavirus in Illinois. 50 detainees in Illinois have been tested for coronavirus after exhibiting flu-like symptoms at one of the largest jails in the country, according to a Cook County Sheriff's Office statement. 17 tested positive. So it looks like 2 have tested negative. 31 people have pending results. More than 20 coronavirus cases reported at a nursing home in West Virginia. I think that's going to be probably the wilder and crazier thing, is going to be more in around those nursing homes and stuff. I know that's the fear that we continue to hear a lot of, is that if it gets into some of those nursing home populations, things are going to not be good. So I think that's a big fear, at least in general healthcare here. Arizona is a massive retirement capital. We've got tons and tons and tons of nursing homes throughout the state. So the fear is that we have something get loose in one of those, and then it's just awful, right? I mean, I feel like it would just be awful in that situation. How are things going for you? Give me a call, 480-712-5219. Shoot me a text, 480-877-0155. I hope everything is going great for you out there. I'd love to hear how things are going in your neck of the woods. I am shiny and sweaty because they have yet to order the part for air conditioning. Can you imagine you can't get a part for an air conditioner during the apocalypse? Who would have thought, right? Like I'd mentioned before, we're not super duper hot here yet. It's still pretty good, which is nothing too crazy at least. It's not cooking yet, but you get all these other sources of heat between the lights and everything else happening, and then it can get a little bad. It can get a little bad if we're not not careful. Again, how are things going for you? I would love to hear from you. If you like it, if you love it, if you got to have more of this stuff, please make sure you share it. That makes this thing a lot more fun for us. As you share this thing around, we get a lot more people engaged. And again, that's the entire point of this thing, is keeping folks engaged. Chicago mayor, dear God, stay at home, save lives. So the Chicago mayor is jumping out there and saying, stay home, pretty please, stay home. It makes sense. And I'm going to say the same thing to you. Pretty please, stay home. I'm trying to get down to some of my notes. It's a whole lot harder on the phone than it is on the computer. Can you believe that? Do the 5 to help stop the coronavirus. And this is from the World Health Organization. Hands, wash them often. 2, elbow, cough into it. 3, face, don't touch it. Don't do that. Space, keep safe distance. And home, stay if you can. And I think that's the biggest thing, is that we need to probably just continue to do this social distancing thing. It seems to work pretty good. Now, my favorite part about kind of diving into the news is diving into the fake news. This is probably my most favorite. So this is a mixture of articles from The Onion and from Babylon Bee, but I love these headlines. Benny Hinn holds healing service in full hazmat suit. That's an excellent. I'm not incredibly impressed with the Chinese government, says vile racist. I love these things. They're amazing. Trump unveils much simpler stimulus plan at Giant Money Cannon. I like that idea. I think Giant Money Cannon is hilarious. It kind of seems like that's what the government does with their money anyways. San Francisco asks homeless residents to poop at home with everything that's going on. Churches to send greeters door to door during remote services. Man working from home encounters nasty 10 Matchbox car pileup on the evening commute. I would be interested in hearing from our safety folks out there. How are you handling that with so many people working from home? How are you handling that? That can get into some interesting territory when we get into record keeping, right? Pants sales plummet as everyone works from home. That's what you're not seeing here, right? And there's all of us folks that are out there doing these podcasts. We're pantsless. Just FYI, that's totally what's happening. So pants sales are plummeting. This one, I like this one. This has a picture of Rand Paul. If Rand Paul had recently tested positive for coronavirus, and if you don't know the story, I haven't dug into it to see what really transpired, but I know that Rand had basically they'd thrown some shots across the bow and saying that he had went to the gym, he'd been in the swimming pool, and all this stuff after each other. I don't know how true all that is, but I love this because it says Party of Love and Tolerance wishes death on political opponent. It's got a picture of Rand Paul behind them. This stuff is just phenomenal. I love it. Biden shouts at webcam from 3 inches away for entire remote press conference. Yeah, there we go. I was waiting for the OK Boomer. There it is, shouting at the webcam 3 inches away for the entire press conference. I love these things. I don't know. What do you think about it? I think these things are awesome to take the edge off. I love just seeing them. It's funny to see, to me, to not to beat up on the Boomer generation too much. I'm not the Boomer please folks, but to see how many of them actually share Onion articles thinking that is real news, I just love it. Or you see them share a Babylon Bee article and they're like, "Can you believe that this is?" I'm like, yeah, okay, yeah, gotcha. Great job there. Appreciate it. That worked out real nice. But fortunately, Facebook had kind of stepped up their game with weeding out some fake news. I like this. A restless Trump can't believe he's stuck inside with nothing to do but be president. I like that one. Trump urges loosening CDC restrictions to let coronavirus get to work. Trump suggests ceding New York to coronavirus as possible appeasement strategy. I'm all right with that. I'm not opposed. I'm not opposed. British royal family orders citizens to leave UK until Prince Charles recovers. I like it. I think it's funny. I like it. I just see, too, the president's getting ready to go live here in just a second. Breaking: President Trump holding coronavirus task force briefing. So that'll be up there. If you feel the need that you really need to drop away and see the commander-in-chief, I'm okay. I get it. I understand that if you want to drop away and watch that. Eli, I'm at work now and don't have pants on. We don't have power, though, so what they don't know won't hurt. Exactly, right? I mean, I think I've shared this before. I think there's a lot of silver linings here. I think one of the silver linings is that we're going to realize how little pants we actually need in life. I think that's part of that. I think we're starting to realize that we can do a lot of cool stuff from home, too. I think that's a big part of that. I think we're learning we can do fun stuff like this. I think that's a massive part of the silver lining to some of the stuff that's going on. It's awesome. To-go drinks, we've mentioned that one a bunch. I think that's awesome. At least in Arizona, you can get like a to-go margarita right now. That's a carry-out margarita. How cool is that? A carry-out margarita. I like it. I love it. I got to have more of it. And unfortunately, it took the apocalypse for us to realize that some of the laws that we have are kind of dumb. But it happened, right? There we are. How are you doing out there? I'd love to hear from you. Call me, 480-712-5219. Shoot me a text, 480-877-0155. I'd love to talk to you. I'd love to hear from you. I'm just having a fun time doing this stuff. I hope you're having as much fun as I am. I'm having a blast. I'm finally getting to see a little bit of your comments now. And there we go. The president's up now at his podium. If you want to dive over there and take a look at that, you're probably not missing much. Just saying. But I hope you're doing well. I hope things are going great in your neck of the woods. I know we're all surviving, but I hope you're still thriving. I hope you're thriving through the apocalypse. Thank you for allowing me to be your tour guide to the apocalypse. It's been wonderful for me so far. I'm going to continue to do these things every single day, as long as I feel like doing them every single day at least. Again, just to keep us together, to keep this conversation going. I just love having this conversation with you. We'll talk about anything and everything that you would like to talk about. I am perfectly good with it. I don't really know any limits, I guess. Give me a call, 480-712-5219, and we'll continue to have a blast. Let's see what happened. Let's see, where am I at? This is a lot harder on my phone, so just thank you for bearing with me as my horrible MacBook has crashed and continues to give me problems. Let's see, can I open it up or no? That's way too hard too. There we go. On this day in 2005, so let's do on this day in history, 16 years after being canceled, the BBC sci-fi series Doctor Who returned to television with a new episode. Pretty cool stuff. In the year 2000, Russian intelligence officer and politician Vladimir Putin was elected president of Russia. Pretty interesting stuff. On this day in 1997, police discovered the bodies of 39 members of Heaven's Gate. If you've not looked into the Heaven's Gate stuff, back to my morbid curiosity, this is the kind of stuff I like to watch on television, just FYI. There's some really interesting stuff out there on them. They were pretty wild. They might have got it right. They're out of here. At least they're not hanging out for this, right? But take a look at that. So on this day in 1997, they discovered their bodies. They're a religious group that believed in, for those of you that don't know, they're a religious group that believed in unidentified flying objects. They committed mass suicide in the belief that a spaceship was arriving to take them to a better place. And who knows? They might have it, or they might have it right. I don't know. We'll see how that. I guess we'll never know. But let's see how things go for us for the next couple months, and then we'll decide who got it right. And in 1992, heavyweight boxing champion Mike Tyson was sentenced to 6 years in prison following a rape conviction. Hopefully there's not rape conventions. I think that'd be a terrible thing. Following a rape conviction in Indianapolis, Indiana. So old Mike got in a little bit of trouble there. Kind of following up with that with some Arizona news. Arizona has reported 2 new COVID-19 deaths and more than 100 additional cases. In Arizona, we're over 500, which I'd shared with you. We picked up a couple more deaths. We were at 6 the last time we talked. We're at 8 now. Mexican protesters block our borders in Arizona, demand coronavirus screenings on travelers from the U.S., and our unemployment continues to spike, as with most. How are things going in your neck of the woods? Once again, I would love to hear from you. I would love to hear how things are going for you out there. Things are going pretty good still here. We're not seeing anything too wild, anything too crazy. Everything is treating us pretty well at the moment. Other than I shared with you yesterday, and it's not getting worse, but it's just not getting any better. So my elbow just like kind of randomly quit working. It's the weirdest. It's like the weirdest thing. I'm getting old. That's the problem. So number one, I'm getting old. Getting old stinks for everyone out there that's not getting old. I guess everyone's getting older, but for those of you out there that are not at my age yet, while you're still in your spry young mid-20s, for some of you out there, enjoy it while you can. Once you get over 30, random things start working, stop working, and just break for no reason. I just woke up and I'm like, my elbow doesn't work anymore. I can't like bend my arm anymore. So it's pretty fun. It's pretty fun times if you ask me. I'm not going to go get it checked. I'm not going to a hospital right now, right? So I'm not going to go see how things are going with my elbow. I think it can wait a little while. But yeah, it just randomly stopped working, right? So, when I say working, I mean kind of range of motion just kind of quit there a little bit. Everything else is doing pretty good. It just kind of goes fine, stop, and then massive amounts of stabbing pain, which is awesome. So who knows what's going on with it. Hopefully it works itself out, because like I said, I'm not going to hang out at the hospital anytime soon, and you probably shouldn't either, if it's just your little bit of an elbow owie like what I've got going on. But again, other than that, I don't have anything to complain about. We've got plenty to eat. We're surviving. Everything's going good. I hope you can say the same in your neck of the woods. I'd love to hear from you. Again, give me a call, 480-712-5219. You can also text me if you don't want to call, 480-877-0155. You can jump in to the comment section. We will gladly have a conversation in the comment section. You throw it up there, we'll talk about it. You got questions, you got comments. You want to talk COVID-19, you want to talk coronavirus, you want to talk anything but, I'm good with that. We will talk about whatever you want to talk about. Again, this whole thing is just wanting to get some folks together, have a conversation, keep us all sane. We're all locked away in our houses, or at least we're locked away more than what we normally are, right? I mean, for even those of us that are kind of getting out here and there, getting to come to the studio here, try to get here at least once a day, and it keeps me a little sane, which is kind of awesome. But for right now, I mean, this is it. This is really it for me. I try to stay here for a couple hours. I try to hang out as much as I can. I got Avery coming over here to say hi. Why don't you come over here and sit on the stool with me? She's going to come over here. and maybe say hi. She's laying on the table now, so there's Avery. Avery's hanging out with us. Avery and I are in the studio. I think I think it's really interesting. I think it's showing us how much of this stuff that we can actually do from home. I think it's very, very neat that we live in a world that this is possible, right? That we can hang out, we can have this conversation. I can come to you live from the luxurious Hop Nerd Studios. One of these days when we do this live stream, maybe I'll give you a little bit of a tour. It's not very big. I mean, I could give you a tour by turning the cameras around and around and around if I want to, but I'm just glad that you're here with us. I'm glad that Avery's here with us. This is a fun time. Like I said, this show normally airs every Wednesday at 5 p.m., every Friday at 8. That's my normal schedule, right? That's the normal non-apocalyptic schedule. And if you're not following along with the podcast, please do that. You can find it anywhere that you find podcasts. It's The Hop Nerd. Pretty straightforward. We try to dump out a couple episodes a week, a few episodes a week right now, actually. We put out one main episode on Monday, one mini episode on Wednesday, and another main episode on Friday. And then our Wednesday and Friday shows, our live streams like this, are also put on the channel. So that way, if you don't have time to tune in and you just want to listen, you can. You can just go follow along with that, tune in, drive around, listen to it. It's awesome. But again, we love doing the live stream of this thing. This is the fun part for me, is the interaction. And again, we've beefed that thing up just because we're all stuck at home. We're all tied up. We just can't get out. There's nothing to do. What's open? I would be really interested in hearing what's left open, because I can tell you here in Arizona, and we're not a very hard-hit state, there's not a lot of stuff that is still open. There's not much that is still left open out there. Other than really super essential things, everything else is pretty much closed down. So I would be interested in what do things look like in your neck of the woods, what do things look like in your state. Again, for us, things are pretty closed up and shuttered. You can go and you can pick up curbside food. You can get the Grubhub, Uber Eats, where they doorbell ditch right now. So you basically call and get your food. They run up, they set it down, they ring the doorbell, and then they run away, kind of thing, which is kind of interesting, right? That's kind of neat. So you can't even get a conversation out of your Uber Eats driver or out of your Grubhub driver. I haven't even looked. Is Uber even still going on right now? I would assume that Uber's still happening, at least for now. I think for me, the more interesting part is going to be seeing where things actually go over the next little bit. I think that's probably the more interesting thing, is where do things actually go over the next couple of months, right? We hope that we get that curve kind of happening. Things get better. We move on with our lives. Things are okay. Things are normal again. That's really, I think, what we all hope for. But are you prepared? I think that would be the bigger question. Again, I'm going to continue to share with you the same message that I share with you every single day. And every single day while I do these live streams, I'm going to share with you is that you need to be prepared and you don't need to panic, right? Prepared and panic are two different things. Be prepared, not panicked. And try to help people, right? I'm going to say that over and over and over and over, because I see a lot of dumbassery, was the only way to put it, of folks out there. Again, if you see your neighbor and they panic hoarded a bunch of toilet paper, throw rocks at them, please. Pretty please. Don't actually do that. If you do that, you take that completely upon yourself for doing that. Again, I'm an idiot. Don't take any of my advice. But they kind of sort of deserve that. Ryan Street, we've suspended our signature requirements and requirement to knock on doors during deliveries. Also, no signatures at business deliveries. Yeah, and that sounds very similar to what I'm seeing with a lot of other stuff, common sense stuff. But it helps. Yeah, for sure, absolutely. I think it helps a lot. I think that's a pretty interesting change. It's a bigger conversation, I think, to be had. The normal stuff that we do, or that we have done, isn't the smartest things to do right now, right? I think that's the bigger conversation. A lot of the things that we've done we've seen it as being the right thing to do, and I'll pick on that, like the signature thing, like having someone sign for a package at a door is probably the right thing to do in the normal world, right? We don't live in the normal world right now. So that's a very smart thing to do. Be like, you know what? Let's risk not getting the signature. That's cool. We're fine not getting it, and let's just not spread COVID-19. That's a much better plan. Right? So I think that is a super smart thing. Common sense. Like I say, common sense, but it helps. I think it helps a lot, yeah. And I think that's what you're seeing happening with like Grubhub, right? Oh, we might deliver the food to the wrong person. Right? What's the real risk, right? The Grubhub is going to have to eat $20, right? Have you seen what they charge when you get food from Grubhub? I have, right? You get like, how's this $80? I ordered $20 worth of food. Trust me, they're fine. If they lose an order or two, they'll be fine. Right? I don't think there's going to be a major issue there. So yeah, I'm seeing tons of smart stuff like that. I'd be interested if you're seeing anything wild and crazy out there happening. Like I said, for me, I haven't seen anything too crazy, anything too wild. Everything seems to be just smart, pretty practical things that I see people doing. And again, I think the more normal responses is stuff like that. That's primarily what I'm seeing. I'm seeing businesses make pretty smart choices right now. And that's good, right? I'm seeing businesses make pretty conservative choices right now. It's interesting from my perspective because signature service are just that, services, and they cost more money. So if you're shipping right now, don't pay for one because we aren't getting them. There you go. So there's your insider pro tip, right? Looking out for you. So if you are paying for that, like Ryan Street said here, that's a service, and you're paying for that service, and they're not doing it for their own safety, which makes perfect sense, right? So you probably shouldn't check that box. I'm assuming you check that box and require or ask for that and pay for that, and then so don't do that right now. That's probably not great if you. Pretty interesting stuff. It's good to see so many businesses kind of getting smart with stuff, right? And that they're just getting smart with things. My biggest fear, for me, who am I, right? Who am I? But for me, I think the biggest fear is still in healthcare, to see things maybe get overloaded there. There's a lot of stuff that we can live without, right? Most of you that have hung around or tuned in or listened or know me, right? You know that I'm in power generation. I've been in power generation or around it or in it for my entire life. That's obviously a fear, right? If things get extremely bad, we have to keep power plants running, right? Power plants stop. If transmission and distribution stops, that's scary, right? We lose lights. We lose this, then that would be not so great, right? You'll see me, I guess, solar panel, cell phone, live stream, figure something out there. But we'll be live streaming from a campfire, right? That'd be kind of cool. That'd be a fun episode, I think. But there's certain essential things that we have to make sure continues to happen, right? Even in worst case scenarios. So my biggest fear is that we lose some of those essential things, and our level of normalcy goes even farther down. And with that, I think we can survive that. We as a species have survived that for a long time without electricity, for a long time without live streaming, for a long time without all kinds of other stuff. But the fear is that people see that you lose electricity, and you couple that with the fact that you see what's going on in the grocery stores, and you couple that with the fact that, holy crap, I'm scared to death of this illness. And then again, you take that and you're scaring people, and a good percentage of those people are stupid. So scared and stupid is scary, right? Nothing good comes from scared and stupid. And that, to me, is the bigger fear, is that if we do lose some of those essential services, if we lose power for a significant portion of time, what's going to happen in the streets? Right? I think that's probably one of the bigger fears. From what I'm seeing, I haven't been to the grocery store since the last time we talked. I went a little bit over the last week. I'll probably go at some point tonight, tomorrow, try to stock up on a couple other extra things as we continue to kind of get through this thing. Like I said, the last time I went, because that's a lot of the questions that I get, a lot of the questions that I get to my DMs, a lot of the questions that I get to the text number have to do with, what do the grocery stores look like? How are things going out there with that? is there stuff to eat? Or, hey, I'm traveling through Arizona. What do things look like there right now? And it's pretty normal, other than when you drive through Phoenix, there's absolutely no traffic. None, right? I mean, and when I say none, there's pretty much none. I mean, we can take a quick look. This is some live kind of traffic feeds from Phoenix. I mean, if you've been here, you know that's not normal, right? Look, there's like 4 cars out there. That's not normal. It's 3 o'clock, right? Am I right? Am I lying? Yeah, it's 3 o'clock. So we're right at prime rush hour starting time. That's not what Arizona looks like, right? Or excuse me, that's not what Phoenix looks like. Northern Arizona, yeah. Like, okay, this is the tunnel. I drive through this tunnel every day on the way home. It does not look like that. That's not a normal kind of thing here in one of the larger cities in the country, right? I'm not sure exactly where Phoenix falls. I'll see if I can find it really quick. But traffic is very, 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 very light here right now. So that's one really cool silver lining for us is that traffic is pretty light. So yeah, Phoenix is number 11 in the country. Phoenix, Mesa, Chandler metro area. And we continue to grow. We're at a higher growth rate, it looks like, than a lot of these other cities. I just pulled it up, kind of quick Wikipedia here. So yeah, in a metro area that has as many people as Phoenix has, which we're right at around 5 million people, you don't see that. Like, look at that. I mean, you just don't see that very often. And we can jump over and see there's beautiful downtown Phoenix, Arizona, for anyone that's back east. And if I don't know what the weather's like back there, I don't check it. I live in Phoenix. I never check the weather anyways. It doesn't matter if it's November or a Thursday in March. I never check. I never check the weather. It always looks like that. Everything's always kind of nice. This one always craps out on me, but I'm going to see if I can reconnect it for you so you can take a look. Here's beautiful downtown Flagstaff. Look at that. Some snow on the peaks up there still a little bit. That's beautiful, beautiful, beautiful Flagstaff, Arizona. That's a few hours north of us. Looks like people are still busy and moving in Flagstaff. Things are still happening up there. Ryan Street, I'm hoping for the initial wave of panic has subsided and people are mostly shopping out of necessity. I hope so too. I mean, the bigger fear, like I said, for me is that you have something like power go out and then who knows, right? How people actually react to that if power goes out. That's a panic moment for them. Have people purchase candles? I don't know. I mean, I went and, as I mentioned, we were in Walmart on their quest for a camera. That was our thing over the past few days. We need to get a 4th webcam. Because right now, as you kind of see, I drift off into side stories. You guys know this. As you know, I mean, I'm operating off of just webcams right now. This is probably one of my more favorite ones. This is a Microsoft LifeCam. I think it's LifeCam. It's like business grade. I've got a couple others just plugged together. This kind of long one that we pick up. This is the worst quality that I have. The other one gets a little glitchy. But we were basically looking to add a 4th, 5th camera. We're gonna fix some of the camera stuff once we get in a position to where we can. But what's really interesting is you can't find stuff like that, right? So as we were kind of wandering around looking for those cameras, we went to a couple different Walmarts. We went to a Target. We're searching online and saying out of stock. We're still stopping by anyways just to see if we can get our hands on it. It's the weird stuff that you can't get a hold of right now that's kind of weird, like webcams, right? And the same thing if you go on Amazon. If you're into live streaming, now's a terrible time for getting gear. And if you're not into it and you don't have any gear and you want to get into it, it's an awful time for you to get into it. Because I'm looking on Amazon, I'm trying to find what I need, and I was looking at basically doing a different setup with some other styles of cameras, looking at basically using some Sony A5100s for anybody out there that's nerd. I think it's a 5100. Is that what it is? And basically taking HDMI out and converting that over to USB and then setting up several of those and just making it super profesh, right? Going super professional. But all those little things like that, like HDMI to USB, those little things, they're usually not cheap anyways because they're super awesome. But they're all out of stock. You just can't get them right now because I'm assuming that people ran out of webcams. You can't get webcams online either. So just FYI, you can't really get your hand on webcams. And so they quickly realized, oh, maybe I can take my normal camera and convert it. I can. And then they bought all that stuff up. So it's just it's just not working. But as I kind of wandered around, so that was a long story talking about cameras and everything else and all fun stuff. But as I kind of wandered around looking for that stuff, we were kind of acquiring some kind of basic stuff. We're going, okay, we need a little bit of this, we need a little bit of that. You know, I want to go down the first aid aisle, all right? I want to stock up on some basic stuff like that. I want to stock up on some normal stuff that you might need in the long run of things, right? If we do get barricaded in our house for a while, quarantined in our house for a while, we're looking for stuff like that. And part of that was buying candles, right? Candle aisle completely full, right? So, I went down I go down I forgot to light them today, so our ambiance of the candles isn't here. At least you got this nice red glow that gets to come up you get that coming up from the corner and from this side. I don't know if you can tell what that is back there, but that is a vintage Nintendo 64 that works. It totally works. We got it on, I actually found this on Amazon. I was trying to find another because my OG one didn't work anymore. So anybody that wants to get together and hang out and play Nintendo 64 and I say, because Avery just fell and ate crap on the way over. She wanted to come over and show you her Nintendo Switch. Look at that. She's playing Nintendo Switch while we're hanging out doing this thing. Look at that. Isn't that cool? What game are you playing?
I was playing.
Here, talking to the microphone.
I was playing Luigi's and this one.
So she was playing Luigi's Mansion, Haunted Mansion 3. Is that what it is? Luigi's Mansion 3, and she was playing that, and then Dragons Dawn of New Riders. So Luigi's Haunted Mansion or Luigi's Mansion, that's a fun game. I don't know. I like that one, don't you?
Yeah.
I like that one a lot. That one's a ton of fun. She's not, she's spoiled. She's got the Switch. So when I fire up the N64, and I don't know, you might be able to see it here. I stuck it up here. Nobody's noticed this one yet. I sneak stuff in on you to see who can notice different things. But you don't really see it right here. There's Duke Nukem 64 right there. She is not impressed with Duke Nukem 64. I think GoldenEye is in the Nintendo 64, and then DK64 is over there. So she's not impressed with any of those games. That was my stuff. So when I was a kid, that was my jam, right? I loved it. Nintendo 64 was my jam. Loved it. So what did you play when you were a kid? Nintendo 64 was my thing. I started off with NES, kind of went up that way, Super Nintendo, and then Nintendo 64. And then I kind of quit playing games, to be honest with you. I didn't really get into any of the other stuff. I've got an Xbox, I've got PlayStation, whatever number it is. Now that tells you how much I actually like it. Hanging around the house, I buy for Avery and all that stuff. But I'll play a video game for like 5 minutes, and then I'm like, okay, I'm bored. This is actually probably one of the cooler gaming systems that I've seen in quite a while, though. And Avery got this not too long ago. I think it's super cool. It's a blast. I just like the way it works. It's just neat. And then if you look at her really cool, like bedazzled, she bedazzles everything right now. So it's just cool. It's just cool stuff. But yeah, Luigi's Mansion. If you're stuck inside and you want a game to play, this would definitely be one to check out. I like it. And I'm not a game person. I'm not a game person at all. And this is definitely a fun one to check out. What are you doing to pass the time? If you're stuck in the house, if you don't have anything else going on, I'm working from home, I'm live streaming. We're just trying to stay busy. I think that's the big part. We're trying to stay busy and we're trying to help. That's the biggest thing that we're trying to do right now. I'd be interested, how are you helping? If you've got some cool ways or some cool ideas on how to help folks out there, let us know. I know how I'm helping right now. I'm reaching out to folks around me. I'm reaching out to my friends and my family, making sure that folks have what they need. If there's anything way that I can help them or get them what they need, I'll get it to them. Or at least try to. Are you helping in any grander scale than that? I'll be interested in hearing from you. Again, give me a call, 480-712-5219. Text me, 480-877-0155. I would love to hear from you. Text or call or jump in to the comments. I'd like to hear how things are going in your neck of the woods, how you're passing the time, how you're dealing with bring your daughter to work always right now. I know me and Avery are trying to figure it out, aren't we? But yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting times out there. I was sharing with you though that it's wild to see. I don't think people have assumed. Is it just me? I don't think people have assumed that things will get worse. For me, at least, I'm like, okay, if we lose power, I know we need candles. I'm gonna get some candles. I know I need food that will keep for a while, so I'm gonna get some of that. Right. I'm going to go down the camping aisle. I'm going to buy a little bit of this and a little bit of that and a little bit of this and a little bit of that. And I'm going to stock up. As Eli was mentioning earlier, we're going to stock up on ammunition. We're going to do some basic survival-esque things. And then when I go to the store, it's just the camping aisles are full. Right? Somebody had commented the other day that people are buying all this toilet paper and then they don't go down the camping aisle and get the camp toilet paper. And I get it. Camp toilet paper is gone before you even finish using it. I understand that. I've done my fair share of camping. But I keep my kind of saying right now, we need a t-shirt. Like I think we need a t-shirt with this. That might happen before this is done. But some of you have never pooped in the woods and it shows. Right, it shows now. Right, it shows when we're in the middle of the apocalypse. It shows. So you don't know how to handle this stuff, and I get it. It's hard, right? It's real hard. But instead of buying the pallet of toilet paper, there's other cool things you should probably get your hands on right now, right? And again, candles are one of them. That's one thing that we thought about the other day, and it didn't hit us until just the other day. We're like, crap, maybe we need some candles just in case. Right? Because most of the candles we have are like this. You can't really see it over there, but they're like this, right? They're ambiance candles. Look at that. They're Ouija candles, and the fun part here is that you go down the aisle and there's like tons and tons and tons of like these religious candles, so it looks super cool. If the power goes out, it's going to look straight up. Between my Ouija candles and all my kind of like obsession with Halloween candles and all this stuff, it's going to look like something out of like a horror movie. It looks like we're practicing witchcraft in the studio. It looks like we're practicing witchcraft at the house when you walk in and you see like tons and tons and tons of all these like angel candles and then Ouija candles and then skull candles and then like incense burning, and it's really cool. Like I guess is what I'm saying. It's super cool. So if you come to my house, I promise we're not worshiping the devil. It's nothing like that. It's just survival candles right now. So, again, just stuff to think about. I try to share stuff that's useful, at least, I hope. I try to be entertaining, number one. Useful, maybe like a close fourth somewhere in there. But I like to share stuff with you that maybe you can take with you and use. And for me, it was that. Again, I didn't even think about candles until the other day. And we were just talking about it. And we're like, yeah, you know what? We probably need to get our hands on some candles just in case. Maybe some matches, so stock up on matches, some general stuff like that. And that's the things that people haven't touched yet. I'll be honest with you. Similar to like when we went down the first aid aisle, people hoarded up all the weirdest stuff, and then you go down the aisle and there's jugs and jugs and jugs of iodine, right? And you're like, this is some amazing stuff that you need. You're going to need in a survival setting. There could come in handy in a survival setting. I got Avery trying to pull my. Let's leave it. Yeah, it's on there permanently. That one won't come off there. No, I'll have to cut him off there. So let's leave him there for now. So this is our Fuggler. If you're not familiar, let's leave it. Let's just leave it for now. This is the Fuggler, and then Avery's trying to show you. Let's just show it. Look. There's two. This is the original one. So I bought this as a funny, actually, right? I bought this for Avery as a present, and then she actually kind of thinks after a while she's like, what? And then she's like, oh, it's cute. So she's got a few of them now, and this is, so if you have never seen a Fuggler, here, you want to go show them the other Fugglers? No, she doesn't want to show she doesn't want to show you the new Fugglers. She's going to show you something with the Fuggler. Oh. You never know what you're going to get on this show, is what I'm saying. So this is what. So if you look, I love these things. Again, we bought it as kind of a joke for her, but all of them have this. They have a buttonhole. That's the excellent idea. Whoever invented these things, they're my absolute hero. So we love these things, don't we, Avery? This has turned into Fugler show and tell. So you can pick up Fuglers at your local Walmart. We're shooting for a Fugler sponsorship. That's the plan here at the Hop Nerd Podcast.
The Fugglers to listen in there.
What really drew us in was the buttonhole. That's what got us here.
Look at the buttonhole. It doesn't even have a tail.
Pretty cool stuff, huh, Avery? She hasn't quite learned how not to bump the table yet. So and some of that's my bad. I mount everything to the table. I'm like a friction arm fiend. So if you don't know what friction arms are, they're these little like clampy jointed things that you use and stuff like this. And they're awesome. You can mount stuff anywhere with them. They're great. But I like to basically jaw mount them to the table. And that means that if I do stuff like this or hit the table or, Avery just likes to bounce on stuff and hit stuff. So when she hits the table, everything looks like we're not under attack. We're not in the midst of an earthquake. All is well. All is safe. It's just we have an Avery. That's the only thing, right? See, just like that. Okay, that. All right. It was funny the first time. It's not funny now. Okay, there we go. She had to show you what it looked like, but it looks like an earthquake. So again, I hope everything's going good for you out there. We're getting ready to wrap up here. When the Fugglers come into the shot, that's when you know the show's almost over. I still got a little bit of coffee, but I went with the Trenta today. I figured it was going to be a long day, so coffee's still here. We still have Monsters. We're still stocked up on Monsters right now. I know, but I got to talk in. If my face is the Fugler, then how can I talk into the microphone? So talking about bringing your kids to work, let me know how that's going for you out there. You can see how that's going for us here. It's been a pretty interesting time. But again, we're going to keep doing this thing every single day. I got Fugler fur everywhere now. I'm gonna go home and I don't even know what I'm gonna have purple hair all over me. Avery, that.
Your hair is purple.
My hair was purple. So some people didn't notice that. I did have my hair purple the other day. Just it wasn't permanent. It wasn't permanent. Again, making safety punk rock. That's kind of what we're doing here. But I hope things are going good for you. We're going to keep doing this thing every single day, or as long as I feel like doing it, because I think it's a good thing to do, at least pretty often. Even the weekend. Well, this is easier for me on the weekend, honestly, so we'll definitely do it over the weekend. Our normal days, Wednesdays at 5, Fridays at 8. Those are Arizona time. So, again, those are the times that work well for me. Those are the times I can squeeze that in. We usually go about an hour to 2 hours to however many hours I feel like going. Again, I'm selfish. It's about me. I won't lie to you. It's about me. It's about me and Avery. It's about how, when it's just me, we can go as long as you want. This is the one that gets to decide how long we actually go, right? This is the main one that gets to decide. So every Wednesday at 5, every Friday at 8, we do this thing. Look out for the podcast. It's every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Those come out super early in the morning. So if you're subscribed, if you're not subscribed, what are you doing? You're watching my live stream and you're not subscribed to my podcast? I'm hurt. That's all I can say is I'm hurt. And you need to go over and do that. Go check me out on LinkedIn, Samuel Goodman. You'll find this right here. This ugly mug, you'll find it there. You can tell which one's me, right? And follow along. Again, I try to pump out lots of valuable stuff. I try to give you lots of content as much as I can. A lot of that's turning more and more and more into video content and into other things. But again, I try to put stuff out there. My goal is to put stuff out there that's good enough for you to steal, right? That you want to take it and make it yours, and I'm good with that. I just want to add value. And I hope that even these live streams, as wacky and fun as they are, and that's what this really is for me, this is fun. If it wasn't fun, I wouldn't be doing it, just to be honest with you. I enjoy it. Avery enjoys it most of the time, until right about now. But because now exactly, she is bored. She'll straight up tell you she's bored. but I hope that it at least brings you some humor to your day. It brings you some value to your day. Again, I'm going to keep echoing this message over and over and over and over till it bleeds out of your ear holes. And that is this. It's a time for helping. It's not a time for hiding. And we might be distanced. We might have to stay away from people, or at least somewhat, right? I'm very, very, very proud of my significant other. We're very, very proud of your dad, huh? Because he goes out every single day and works in healthcare every single day, dealing with junk like this, right? He doesn't get the option to telecommute. He doesn't get the option to work from home. So that's where our minds need to be. That's where our thoughts need to be. And that's where our actions really need to be, in my opinion. It needs to be with those folks that are out there on the front line doing everything that they can, fighting their damnedest to make this thing survivable. Those are the folks that we need to be helping and trying to support the most, right? And then with that, we need to be supporting our neighbors, our friends, our families, and everyone else out there. It's not a time for hiding and hoarding. It's not a time to go roll in your pallet of toilet paper that you bought at Sam's Club and go, ha, I won. When you're all alone because everyone on the planet is dead, enjoy that TP while you got it. I'm still pulling. It's hard for me to be inspirational. I'm pulling Fugler hair off of my face. But again, look out for each other. Ask people if they need help and help them if you can. Look out for your family, your friends, all those folks that you love and care about. If there's one silver lining that is really important about this thing, it's not margaritas to go. It's not carry out margaritas. It's the fact that we get to spend a little bit more time together. And it's the fact that we get to realize what's really, really important, right? And that's our family, our friends, all those folks that we love and care about. It's looking out for each other. It's coming together. Yes, there's the S. It's coming together. This is our opportunity to shine. It's our opportunity, as I keep saying, it's our opportunity to either show how terrible we are as human beings or how awesome it is to be human beings. It's our choice. We get to decide that, right? We get to decide if we're going to hoard our toilet paper in our garage and hide from each other. We get to decide if that's going to be what we do. I hope to goodness that's not what anyone out there decides to do. I hope to goodness that is the exception, right? Not the rule. I have to believe that people are inherently good, right? I have to believe that. And I hope that this is a time when we get to show that. So that's all I've got for today. Make sure you send me an email, sam@thehopnerd.com. You can also send an email to thehopnerd@gmail.com. I check both of those pretty regularly. It comes to my handy dandy cell phone right here, right? You can shoot me a text, all that kind of fun stuff. Right there it is, 480-877-0155. Text me your questions. We'll be back up and going live again tomorrow around the same time-ish. Right? I say ish because I don't know. I don't know what the day is going to bring. I don't know what the day is going to bring for me any more than you know what's going to bring for you right now. It's the apocalypse, right? It's the apocalypse, baby. Let me know what you have. Like, send me some things. Woo. Long day. Send me your thoughts. Send me your questions. Send me your comments. Again, I'm always interested in how things are going for you out there. What do things look like? Give me your Walmart status report. That's what I'd like to hear about. What's Walmart look like right now? That's a pretty good gauge. How's Walmart looking? What's Sam's Club look like? How are things going in your town? Are you on lockdown? Are you staying at home? What's work look like? How's this working for you? Bringing your kids to work kind of stuff. I'm just interested in hearing your stories. If you have questions for me, send those there. You can send it to the email. You can send, if you got articles you'd like for me to talk about, send those over. So you can text them to me. You can email them to me again. Anyway you want to get a hold of me. You can call me. Either of these numbers you can call me, 480-877-0155. If you do call me, and then you can call me here as well, 480-712-5219. If we're not live, leave me a voicemail. We can play it back. We'll have that conversation on the air in case I miss you. But again, either way, I look forward to talking to you tomorrow. Again, take this number down, 480-712-5219, and I will get ready to answer your questions tomorrow. I'm thinking same time, same place. What do you think? Same. Avery says maybe because she's bored. She wants to go home. She's ready to go home. I'm hungry. You hungry?
Yeah.
I'm hungry. This has been my this is my breakfast lunch so far. Is this? We're running on what time is it? 3:09. Two of these bad boys, right? Which one's your favorite? You like coffee or Monster?
I don't drink coffee.
Neither. What's your favorite to drink?
Can I say a lot?
A lot?
No, can I say some?
Yeah. What's your favorite thing to drink? Let everybody know before we get done.
Orange juice.
Ooh, I like orange juice. I don't think you never drink that much orange juice. I'm gonna say milk. I think you drink a lot of milk.
Yeah, and I used to drink orange juice. That used to be my favorite.
Yeah. Now she drinks milk and Bolt.
Yeah.
You got the Bolt? Yeah, the Bolt's a good one.
I'll go so.
Yeah, she's got to show you her Bolt before we hang up. So if you're in the neighborhood of Sam's Club and you want a sugary filled sports drink, Bolt is the way to go. Yes, we're not sponsored by Bolt yet. We're going for that Bolt sponsorship. That's what we're going for, right there. Those things are actually delicious. So take it from Avery. If you need a sugary sports drink, that's a pretty good sugary sports drink. You can still buy those by the pallet at Sam's Club. Can't get water, but you can get Bolt. You can get a keg of Bolt if you want a keg of Bolt. But we're finished up here. Thank you for hanging out with me. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for your comments. Thank you for your text, all that kind of fun stuff. Again, this thing would not be possible without you. Duh, right? I mean, that's kind of the whole point of this, is that we get to hang out with you. If you're not here, it's just me and Avery talking into this big fancy microphone, and people are walking by looking at us like we're idiots. They kind of already do that, but that's okay. But again, thank you. I can't thank you enough. Again, if you're not following along with the podcast, please do. Please go follow along. If you're not following us on YouTube, pretty please head over to the Hop Nerd YouTube channel. You'll see this logo right over there. See that? Look at that. See that logo? Boop, 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 boop. It looks just like that. You'll see it on the YouTube channel. You know you're in the right spot, right? The Hop Nerd. Go over, subscribe. I put out a lot of video content. I've shared that with you. I'm shifting mostly. I don't want to say I'm shifting away from a lot of the written content that I do, but I'm trying to move over to stuff that's more video-based. It's more fun for me. Again, I'm just honest with you. It's about me. It's more fun for me. I like doing video. When I get bored of video, I'll go back to making other crap, right? And then I'll kind of go back and forth. But please go over, give us a follow, a subscribe on YouTube, like the videos, like the live streams. If you're not following along with my Facebook page, it's Samuel Goodman. There's also the Hot Nerd Facebook page. Again, follow along on LinkedIn. That's where I put a lot of content, is LinkedIn. It's just Samuel Goodman. Again, you'll see this ugly mug. And then also the Hop Nerd LinkedIn page. Follow along with that. Thank you for hanging out. Check out the website, www.thehopnerd.com. Right? Thehopnerd.com. Check that out. All that kind of fun stuff.
What's mine?
And you can also go watch Avery. So what's yours called, Avery?
The Daddy Daughter Podcast.
Yeah, so you can go check out the Dad Daddy Daughter podcast. It's on YouTube, Dad Daddy Daughter. You can see it. She's not done with it. She wanted to start doing this stuff too, so we've been helping Avery do this, huh? We've started. We have a picture over there on the wall. It's our two posters. It's the Hop Nerd logo and Avery's logo. We'll show everybody that one day, huh? But head over, check hers out. If you're following along on my Facebook, or you want to head over to my Facebook, Samuel Goodman, you'll see this, boop, 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 and you'll see on my wall that her video is there. Again, I thank you so very much. What are you going to tell them?
We only have one video, though.
She only has one video up right now, right? She only has one.
Well,
You're going to fall off that stool if you're not careful. You already pinched yourself on it earlier.
Don't you remember? We have another one, too.
Yeah.
Intro.
Yeah, she has the intro, she has the trailer, and then she has a video. So go check out her stuff too. Avery wants to be YouTube famous, right? You're gonna fall, baby. You're not gonna be YouTube famous if you fall through the shelf behind you. Well, I don't know. That might do it. It might make you YouTube famous. But again, thank you for tuning in. You want to say bye, Avery?
Bye.
Thank you for tuning in. Check us out on all those social media things. Subscribe to us on YouTube. All that kind of fun stuff. I always appreciate you. I thank you so very much for letting me be your tour guide to the apocalypse. I will continue that duty bright and early at 2:00 p.m. Arizona time tomorrow. Until next time, it is Sam Goodman signing off. I'm getting this clipped onto my head right now. I was trying to sign off. Signing off. Bye, everybody. Bye.